What is going on, guys? What's good? What's going on? We are back. FOMC prep stream. In 1 second, guys. Getting the link posted in the Discord. What's going on? What's going on, guys? Austin, what's good? Devin, what's good? Alfred, what's good? What's going on? We are live. M. Davis, what's going on? Baggers and birdies, I love it. Birdie bandits, or really the bogey bandits. What's going on, guys? What's good? Good evening. FOMC Eve, we are live. Kyle, what's going on, man? Sorry, guys, just getting the link posted in Discord, Twitter, etc. here. What's going on? Dallin Anderson, what's good? What's going on, guys? Summer, man, way to kill it today. Lucid, what's good? Always good to see you in here, man. Appreciate that. I wish you could play music on these streams, but, you know, YouTube had to nerf it. Awesome day, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, today was super fire. What's going on? Today was really sick. Just going to post the link on IG for the homies. What's going on, guys? GN, good evening. Karen, what's going on? Josh, what's good? Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. What's going on, guys? Great day. Glad to be here. Justin, what's going on, man? What's going on, guys? Just gonna give everybody about 2-3 minutes to roll in, guys. How did everybody's day go? What a day. What a Tuesday. What's going on? Lorenzo, what's up? What's going on? Neon and Butch Gaming, good to see you. Z, what's going on? Jonathan, what's going on, guys? Justin, what's good? Dane, good to see you. J-Pow time, indeed. Good to see you in here as always, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Scott, what's going on, guys? What's good? Going to give everybody about a minute or two to roll in. We are going to get started. Total guide at getting ready for FOMC, guys. Pretty big day on the slate tomorrow. What a day we had today already. So it's going to be an interesting one as we get into tomorrow, guys. What's going on? Going to give everybody about a minute to get in. We got the essential stream snack as well. If you guys aren't hip, you need to get hip. These the Sour Patch watermelon, super fire. Kind of keep you going. I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I should probably do something about that. You guys, if you got any recommendations for dinner, just go ahead and throw them in the chat. I'm gonna take those serious recommendations only, though. Please, as always, guys. If you enjoy the streams and you want to see me keep doing them, please, all I ask is you please just throw a like on the stream. Make sure you are subscribed already. If you haven't, we hit 200 likes on the last stream, over 1,000 viewers. So really gonna be the goal to top that this time, guys. So if you haven't already, just toss a like down below on the stream link, and I would really appreciate that. That allows us to keep doing these streams, which I know so many of you do appreciate. Sushi, always a good pick. I like that. Okay, salad and salmon. We got some healthy options in the chat. We got some healthy traders in the live chat right now. I respect it. What's going on, guys? Full 40 calls at Lowe's. That's a dub. Caleb, what's going on, man? CA, what's good? Appreciate everybody coming in. Is the volume up? It should be. If you make sure you have one window open. What's going on, guys? We are going to go ahead and get started. What is going on? Big day tomorrow. It's 9 p.m. You're going to be door dashing fast food. Damn, bro, you just came at my life right there, but you are absolutely 1,000% correct with that statement. That is exactly what I'm going to do. And you know what? It's because I'm streaming, you know? Volume is very soft. I'm going to try to talk right into the mic for you guys. Hopefully that volume is solid. Thanks, man. Vahad, I appreciate that as always, man. I really hope I'm not mispronouncing your name. What is going on, guys? A little bit over 150 people in the live already. That is awesome, guys. Really appreciate it. As always, guys, if you guys are joining for the first time or if you are kind of in here, the Shure SMB7 is fire. Thank you. Yeah, it's my favorite mic, especially for stream. Full bloated Qs puts. Nice, nice. I hit some UVXY for like 157% today. I had one trade, was done, played a little bit of golf. Played absolutely horrible today, so we're not going to talk about that. But, yeah. As always, guys, really appreciate it. If you just toss a like on the stream, that allows us to keep doing these streams. Like I said, we hit 200 likes last time. Would really love to top that this time. Just right in the bottom left-hand corner, just hit that like for me, and we are going to go ahead and get started. All right, so we got about 150 people in here, guys. We are going to go ahead and get moving. I'm going to get the CME FedWatch tool. David, what's going on, man? Appreciate you being in the chat. Priscilla, what is going on? Good evening, guys. These 9 p.m. streams, I'm really not used to them yet. As you guys know, I stream live in the Discord every morning, and that is what I'm used to. So these 9 p.m. streams are still taking a little bit of getting used to for me, but, you know, we're going to do our best. So as I mentioned, guys, I am going to be doing the giveaway for the free month of May in the Discord a little bit later in the stream. We're going to do that around 9:25, 9:30. That's usually allows everybody to kind of get in. Obviously, if you haven't already, you can like and retweet my tweet on my main Twitter, and that's going to enter you in to win that giveaway. Also, guys, if you guys did not get a chance to get the promo link on the Discord, you can shoot me a DM and just with the word May, and I will shoot you the promo link. It did sell out already, but I'm going to open a few more $99 spots for anybody that would like to get in that's in the stream. You can shoot me a DM, and I'll shoot you the link as soon as I am done. So, what time zone am I in? I'm in the Eastern time zone, Virginia. Probably about to move to North Carolina, though, so it's going to be interesting. All right, guys, so we are going to go ahead and get started. Switch it up here. Hopefully this works. What's up, man? Eagle, appreciate you tuning in, brother, always. We gotta do some resizing here. If you guys are not familiar, I feel like I'm an OBS wizard, and I haven't explored even a tenth of this software, so streaming is not the easiest thing in the world, contrary to popular belief. Appreciate everybody in the live chat saying what's up, guys. We're about to get started. If you want to do me a humongous solid, guys, just toss a like on the stream. Like I said, we hit over 200 likes last time. Would love to top that this time. We're going to go ahead and get started, guys. It is 9:15. Hopefully you guys have had a fantastic Tuesday already. If you are new, this is your first FOMC prep stream, guys. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how we're kind of going to do things and walk through things. Obviously, a humongous day tomorrow. We've got JPOW, the Fed. This has kind of been the main event. We obviously had an insanely awesome day of continuation today that was so healthy and fantastic to see. I really hope everybody took advantage of that today. And I'm really hoping we get more of the same tomorrow. But obviously, tomorrow has kind of been, critically acclaimed as the main event, right? We've got a huge week ahead, and this is a really important Fed meeting. So I'm going to quickly go over why this FOMC is so important. And then I'm going to go ahead and cover a few of my favorite long and short setups that I am really going to be looking at as we get into tomorrow. I'm going to cover a few of my favorites as well as go over SPY and QQQ and the levels that I am going to be watching closely as we get in towards the open. As always, if you guys enjoy these streams, do me a big solid and throw a like. Appreciate it as always. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Victor, good to see you. Matthew, what's up, man? Appreciate you. Ty Jones, I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to get for dinner, so we're going to see. All right, guys, so we are on the CME FedWatch tool. Hopefully, I've switched my view. If you guys want to let me know in the live chat, hopefully you guys can see that okay. If you guys aren't familiar with this tool yet, this is the CME FedWatch tool. This is one of my favorite tools to use on a daily basis as we get closer to FOMC. And this is going to give you a insight and kind of look into target rate probabilities, right? So we are talking about a 25 basis point hike for tomorrow. And at the bottom of this screen, you're going to see that 5 to 5.25%. Let's talking about the terminal rate, right? So tomorrow we are still pricing in that, very highly expected chance that we are going to see a 25 basis point hike, right? in that range at least. The big probability switch today, guys, was the June hike, right? It is really the Fed funds tool is now pricing in a very high likelihood that we are not going to see a hike, and we are likely going to see a pause now. And a lot of that is due to the carnage that we are seeing in the banking system, right? Tomorrow is a big deal. You basically saw tons of regional banks today down on relatively no news, but in reality, the news is that if we hike rates again tomorrow by 0.25 basis points, we are going to be looking at a very shaky situation, especially for the regional banks in the kind of aftermath of the FRC JPM situation, right? JPM acquiring FRC. This is a big deal for the market, guys. This is kind of the economy at hand, right? And regional banks play a very vital role in our economic stability and our economic well-being, right? So, what happens is if you get, rates pushing up to a certain point, people get worried about bank failures, and that's what causes bank runs, right? We saw a perfect example of that, SIVB, and then again on, really FRC, right? So here we are, very, very big day coming up as we get into tomorrow. It's going to be crucial to see, what Jay Powell says and his tonality and the way he approaches things, guys. That's going to be the biggest thing. Does he talk about additional balance sheet runoffs? That's going to be one of the main talking points. So if you're taking notes, I'm really going to be paying attention to, is he talking about additional balance sheet runoffs? Is he indicating that, he feels that it's, clear and responsible to keep hiking rates, right? That's the biggest tonality change we're going to be watching, right? So I think that's really, really important. Jonathan, good to see you, man. Appreciate that. Chances they don't raise tomorrow, I would say that it's very low. 2 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, guys. Big day. So that's the kind of layout, right? I try to keep things super simple, guys. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm a macro expert because I'm not. I have a good enough understanding, but as most of you guys know, if you guys have been following me, I am primarily a price action level to level based trader, right? So I rely on price more than I rely on macro. But I will say, guys, that a perfect example of being aware of your surroundings was this morning, right? And this is going to lead me into the technical aspect of why these macro factors can oftentimes be important, right? So we are going to switch back over to the charts, and what we are looking at is KRE. If you are not familiar, this is the regional bank ETF, guys. And we broke down to new 52-week lows today, right? The entire reason behind my trade this morning, which I actually took on UVXY, which is a volatility product. And so if you guys aren't familiar, when banks see weakness or we have, uneasiness in the financial sector, you really start to see volatility spike, right? And because we were in a day where we had a major binary catalyst, tomorrow, which is Wednesday, this morning, I felt that the best risk reward was within the volatility product, right? So either the VIX or UVXY. It just comes down to personal preference of what you feel like you know better. I personally felt like I know UVXY the best, so that is what I traded. We traded the 3-5 calls in the room. Those were in the money for over 160% in gains right off the open this morning, and I was done, right? I also had some commons overnight, which really printed nicely. And then coming into today, guys, the KRE was the backbone for that thesis. So while you may think and your system may allow for strictly price-based trading, this was a fantastic trade this morning purely based off this KRE breakdown, guys. This was the 1-hour chart on KRE. And what I want to point out to you guys, and this is going to be one of the primary charts I'm watching tomorrow, you can see that we had massive hourly support at the 40.52 level on KRE. So if you're following along, we're on the KRE 1-hour chart, guys. And I talked about this to the room this morning, right? But one of the biggest things that I was watching was for these regional banks, right, especially the KRE itself, were we going to break that major area of support that we had from late last month in April, right? As you guys can see on the hourly, we have a lot of these long notable wicks down to this 40.50 area, right? So we had a very strong area of demand extending from 40.70 to 40.52. And so I really want, obviously I can't force you to do anything, but I would highly recommend you guys marking out this level on KRE because this is going to be an important level as we kind of extend further into the week, in my opinion, right? This was a line in the sand, okay? And what do I mean by that? I mean that if we saw this level break, we were going to kind of see quote unquote contagion. And I mean that in a in a more versatile term in terms of the market, right? I mean, like, okay, if that level breaks, you're going to see regional banks really start to implode, which is going to cause names like Bank of America, JP Morgan, PNC, Citi, the big boys, to also spill. And what is that going to cause? That's going to cause downside pressure within the S&P 500, right? And so this is where it's really important to understand how, different ETFs and different parts of the market are going to have an overall effect. So even if you only trade SPY, I mean, I've pretty much probably traded QQQ 95% of the time the last 2 months. But really, it's important to have a good understanding of, how these other, especially regional banking names and ETFs are going to affect price action, right? And so the entire thesis for this trade this morning, guys, if we come over to the 15-minute and not to kind of focus on the old trade itself, but I basically saw us breaking down below 40.52. I entered the UVXY 3-5 calls right before, about 15 minutes before we had news come out at 10 o'clock. And as you guys can see, right after we saw that news come out, we saw a massive fail below 40.52. And how do we identify key hourly pivots, guys? We look at what the price action does after we break that pivot, right? This is what happened on KRE today. We closed a 15-minute candle below that key hourly pivot at 40.50, and look at the move we got, right? We got very high selling volume to the downside, all the way down to this 38 level, right? That is a huge move in this market, guys, and that is how we identify an important hourly pivot, right? So therefore, I now know that that 40.50 level is going to act as a very strong area of resistance for KRE now going forward, right? So throughout the week and even, into next week, guys, this is a really important level that I would pay very close attention to, guys, on KRE, right? I honestly think I'm going to be paying more attention to KRE than I will the S&P 500 tomorrow, right? Because this is going to be the leader, in my opinion, in terms of where we see price action go. So as you can see, guys, on the chart right now, we definitely also built some resistance at this 39.12 level, and now we're looking at the 15-minute. So personally, that's going to be the level that I want to watch. If we break over 39.12, I do think we could see a retest to the upside into 40. However, if we continue to see pressure at this 39 level, guys, I would expect a further spill down towards low of the day from today, which was that 38 spot. So I really hope that layout kind of helps you guys. I think KRE is a really important name to have on your focus list for tomorrow, at least for my personal trading plan, guys. It's going to be a really, really important factor. Does that kind of make sense? You guys can let me know in the live chat. Hopefully that was a pretty clear and basic explanation. This shit would have confused me, excuse me for the language, but this would have confused me like crazy when I first started. So I'm trying to explain everything as simple as I can because I know we've got a lot of newer traders watching. And so I really want to make sure that kind of came off in the clear and understanding way because it is really important. Good stuff. Natalie, what's going on? Victor, good to see you guys as always. Winston, great to see you as well, my man. Awesome to see you guys. Dre Curry, what's going on? Sword Lord, North Carolina's the place to be. I hope so, bro. That's what I keep hearing. Everybody says that NC is the spot. So, all right. So I'm going to kind of keep moving, guys. I'm going to try to take questions as we get towards the end. I am going to go ahead and announce our giveaway winner for the month of May Discord spot. I'm going to go over to that retweet right now and pick a random winner. We had over 200 people retweet that. I really appreciate everyone that did. We're going to pick a random person, and I'm going to reply down on this tweet here as well. All right. Josh Jude, if you were in the stream, this is our winner right here. At Josh Jude, if you retweeted, if you're in the stream, congratulations, man. Shoot me a DM. Just shoot me the word May Discord winner. I'm going to jot down your name and send it to our Patreon admin. And they're going to go ahead and get you a free month in the Discord for the month of May, guys. Really appreciate that. If anybody would like to join the Discord for the month of May, just shoot me a DM. You can shoot me the DM with May promo, and I will shoot you a link for that $99 promo, even though it is sold out. So, big dub, big dub. D-Book, good to see you in here as always, brother. Good to see you. So we're going to kind of keep moving, guys, right? So we covered KRE. We did the Discord trading giveaway. Congrats, Josh. Really hope you enjoy that. Like I said, guys, we live trade every single morning as well, and we obviously do a stream like this every single morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I think it's really beneficial. We covered KRE on the live stream this morning, and it ended up being an absolute banger. So just to show you guys the correlation there, KRE, and then this is UVXY. When banks are weak, look at the UVXY price action, guys. Really, really clean move to the upside today, right? We cleared this 365 level. I took my entry at 362. We got to move all the way up to 408. I think we were up in total like 13 or 14% at one point today. And this was a really, really, really clean move. Obviously, like I said, guys, I personally chose to buy the volatility product today, which was UVXY for me. If you wanted to take the VIX, that's cool too. A bunch of people in the room obviously can kind of sentiment that I was slamming the table on the fact that KRE was going to cause UVXY and the VIX to spike. So, yeah, you know, personally, I would trade SPY and UVXY over KRE, but do I follow any option flow data in trading? Occasionally, there are times where the flow is very strong. This has not been one of them over the past month. However, when we're seeing very high liquidity, high volume moves in the market, that is when I'm going to utilize option flow. Option flow is also about individual names, right? There's some names that do really well with flow. Personally, I think like names like Baba, Coinbase, you know, those names that don't trade crazy volume like Tesla option flow is oftentimes really hard to get a good handle on, whereas you can get a really good read oftentimes of those smaller individual names. Yep, there you go. ProShares does let you trade everything indeed. Yeah, that's a little nice little dub if you weren't aware. Yeah, as always, guys, I really appreciate that. Really happy we could do the giveaway. If you guys haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you toss a like on the stream. Gonna try to get over 200 likes this time. We hit, I think, like 190 last time. I really appreciate everybody that tuned in. But we are going to keep moving. So let's go ahead and cover S&P 500 levels and the spots that I am watching for tomorrow, because I think this is the big one, right? S&P 500, what a move today, guys. This has been, honestly, guys, I could care less about direction at this point. But it is just nice to see some continuation. If you agree with that, you can let me know in the live chat. But I think that everybody can agree. It felt really healthy and really nice to see some continuation in the S&P 500. It is an unmatched feeling. And I think that we have been in such a range-bound market for the past, honestly, we're going to say like 2 months that, it's been hard to come by continuation like that. And to see that something like that this morning was really healthy. And I think a big positive, right? To see some true momentum. So very nice not having a super choppy day. Agreed fully. So for SPY tomorrow, this is what I am going to be watching very closely, right? We've got a really big level, right, at 411.56. The reason that I'm going to be paying attention to this spot so closely is because, one, this was also a major support area, which we took out to the upside, right? We took it out as a resistance, made a big move to the upside, and you can see that if we go back, right, to the 28th, right, this was a big trigger. We broke 412 to the upside. We saw a big move towards that 415, 416 range. And obviously, if you guys don't know, the way that I prep every single day is that I first look at the daily chart, then I go to the hourly chart, and that's where I'm really going to draw the majority of my conviction from, right? I am going to be looking at that hourly structure, those hourly pivots to really guide me intraday, right? And then intraday, I'm usually using the 5 and the 15 minute, depending on what time of the day it is. Oftentimes, lately I've been using the 5-minute, but the 15-minute is a great confluence time frame for me that I really draw a lot of conviction from on a daily basis. So I definitely really promote using both of those time frames. I think they're both really, really helpful, and they've changed the game in terms of trading for me. The 15-minute trap has been a game changer, and it's one of my favorite setups to trade. So, like I said, we had a really ugly daily setup on SPY, right? Gravestone Doji at that major area of resistance, and then I want you guys to note the sell volume. We talk about this all the time. D-Book Trading preaches about this, I think, on an hourly basis on Twitter, right? We had that major daily sell volume, guys, on a relative basis. This is some of the largest selling volume we've seen in a long time. And so it's going to be very, very important, right, to see how we follow this up tomorrow on what is a really important day with FOMC, right? Price is ultimately going to be king tomorrow, right? We want to remember that. Price is our best friend. And going into tomorrow, guys, my plan is going to be very simple, right, on the S&P 500. If we can break through that 411.56 area, I do think we can see continuation back towards 412. And then again, the trigger for me on the upside is going to be 412.33. If we can clear 412.33, the top of this wick on the 15-minute, guys, I do think we can see a pretty large move to the upside back towards 414, 415. However, the primary focus for me, guys, is going to be on rejections against 411.56, right? Given the sell volume that we are seeing on these higher time frames, I am going to be approaching tomorrow with a slightly downside bias. Just in terms of the trades I would prefer to take, I would personally like to be trading rejections off of what was support and is now acting as resistance, right? That is what I want to be focused on. So, like I said, guys, this 411.56 level is going to be a major pivot on the S&P 500 chart for me, right? Personally, this is the spot that I want to watch. Like I said, some people prefer the price action on ES, which is the S&P 500. Some people prefer the price action on the Qs, NQ or QQQ. Personally, I've been trading tech more often lately, but going into tomorrow, I'm probably going to trade the S&P 500 because it relates more closely to the banks. And when we have heavy banking influence, I prefer to trade the S&P 500. Snap your charts. What's going on, brother? Great to see you in the chat as always, guys. If you don't forget, if you like these streams, go ahead and toss us a like. It always really helps us, allows us to keep doing these streams. My God, I cannot talk tonight. Good Lord. Allows us, lets us, I don't know, mans. Make up your mind. Let's figure out what words we want to say. All right, so like I said, guys, S&P 500, that key pivot from today, right? We can clearly zoom out and look at the intraday action and look at where we tested up to, right? 411.56, and we moved pretty swiftly within this gap, right? So 411.56, right, all the way down to our lows where we really started to see some those larger liquidity sweeps. As you can see, the bottom was pretty clear today, right? Looking back, of course, hindsight's 2020, right? We obviously had that major liquidity sweep, swept back above 408.35 on the 15-minute, and then look at the price action that we saw since, right? Now, that being said, I want you guys to pay very close attention down here, right? What are you seeing is larger, right? On a terms of a relative basis, what volume is larger, the selling or the buying, right? You can let me know in the live chat. It should be pretty simple, guys, right? We are seeing a lot more selling volume, right? We are seeing selling volume kind of dominate here, right? And so, like I said, guys, I have no real bias going into tomorrow, but personally, I think this regional banking mess needs to get sorted out, and I think that could result in a pullback further on SPY. We will see. But again, this 411.56 is that major pivot for me, guys. And then again, 412.31 above. If we start to reject at this 411.56 area, I would be looking for moves to the downside to these consecutive targets, right? 410.36 and then 409.74, right? This was a really big spot, as you guys can see. When we came back up on the S&P, the first place that we came down, right, we saw some sellers come in at 14.15, and then we bounced, right? And that's what led us to that kind of move higher into the close, right? So that 409.79 is another key pivot for me. Below that, I think we'll test down towards 408 again. And we know how important of a level 408 is, guys, right? It's just a huge, huge spot on the S&P 500 daily chart, right? We've got major support at that 408 level. So that's definitely going to be an area that I want to watch as we go into tomorrow. This is the hourly structure, pretty clear and straightforward, right? Even if I deleted all my levels, the primary two pivots I want to pay attention to, again, 411.56. I can't emphasize how important that area is going to be, 410.38. And then again, right, want to pay attention down towards a move into that 408.47 spot. So those are the levels that I want to watch. Selling, if tech falls tomorrow, AM could be a bloodbath for new lows from the cash market today. This is true. Somebody just mentioned if tech starts to fail, then we're going to really see the market start to sell because it's so weak, right, compared to tech. This is very true, guys. Look at Microsoft, right? Look at Meta, right? Look at Apple, right, which has earnings on Thursday. Don't forget that's an absolutely huge catalyst, right? And you know, Apple is kind of holding up decently compared to the overall market, but Microsoft, right? This is one of the biggest ones. Microsoft is just a really, really, really important name because this is holding up the Qs, right? It encompasses such a large percentage of the Qs. This is very true. If we see a name like Microsoft start to sell under this 303 level, that's going to really cause some volatility to the downside to increase in tech, right? I think that's very, very important to note, guys. I'm going to talk about Microsoft in 1 minute. I'm going to pivot quickly here, and we're going to cover my favorite short side name for tomorrow, and that is going to be Nvidia. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet. I said that I was personally a little bit biased towards fading the candle from yesterday. If you took that trade, congratulations. I didn't touch Nvidia today. However, it ended up being a really clean fade off the 290 level. I tweeted that out last night on my main Twitter. I said, hey guys, honestly, I think I would probably fade that. We did kind of print that inside day. Here's what I'm going to be looking at, and it's very, very clear. The big thing to remember, right? We broke out above the range on a Monday, and I want to emphasize that. The weekly candle is going to be what's important here. This is going to be a monster move on Nvidia very soon, right? I think it's definitely a little bit suspect that we rejected, right, today. And after hours, guys, we're below that key level at 280. This is my absolute favorite setup going into tomorrow, guys, because it's going to offer a very clean opportunity, right? Nvidia was down another 1.3% after hours. This is because of AMD earnings, right? We're down 6.5% on AMD after hours because of their earnings report. Again, Nvidia is going to offer a great opportunity tomorrow. We know what the key level is on the daily chart, right? We know that the key level was that breakout above 280, right? So tomorrow, this is going to be my level of reference, right? 280 is the spot, okay? If we look at 280 and we say, okay, this was our line in the sand to the upside, tomorrow is going to offer a really clean opportunity off the open because now that we're below 280, in after hours trading, I want to gauge how we react to 280. If we see sellers come in with force off of the open at that 280 spot, that is going to offer, in my opinion, a really nice clean trade to the downside. Why? Because it starts to look more like a fake breakout to the upside, which occurred yesterday. Let me say this, and I'll be very clear. The Monday pump is always suspect, especially when we are talking about these larger term range breaks, right? Because at that point, guys, we're talking about weekly candles, right? We're not talking about daily candles to get out of this range. We need a weekly candle close above 281 to get out of this range. Look at what the weekly candle starts to look like now. Okay, right? Because we broke out on a Monday, what does that Monday pump do, right? It creates a larger upper wick on the weekly candle, right? You have to kind of think ahead in this market, guys. If you're always one move behind, you are going to struggle, right? So it is important to approach things with a I'm thinking ahead, right? When you look at a weekly candle like Nvidia. Do I trade weeklies mainly? Yes, I do. So really going to be watching that spot on Nvidia. Like I said, guys, at the 280 level, I think it's going to be really, really important. Again, we've talked about why that is such a big level, right? Let's look at what I'm going to be looking at on the upside, right? we extend above to that 290 level. So it's going to be really important to watch and see how this weekly candle closes. If this weekly candle starts to close below 280, I think you're going to start to see some real selling come in from people that bought the breakout on Monday. And that's going to create even further downside pressure on Nvidia, which could very easily see a move to the bottom of this range on the weekly. This is 5, if not really 6 straight weeks, guys, of consolidation within a really, really big range, right? Yes, Nvidia has some very bullish stuff going on with AI right now. Yes, there's, you could come up with an endless list of bullish and bearish takes. All I am focused on is price, but I don't like how that weekly candle looks from a long side perspective right now, right? It's creating that longer upper wick. That breakout yesterday was on a little bit lower volume. So tomorrow is, I think, a pivotal day for Nvidia, guys. A really, really pivotal day, right? It's going to be a really clean short under 262. But personally, the best trades in this market have been fake breakouts for shorts and fake and longing those fake breakdowns, right? We saw a great example of that on QQQ, right? But just to clarify, tomorrow on Nvidia, my primary focus is 280 in that 280.50, 280.69 level. If we start to reject at that 280 level, I may look at probably the 275, if not the 270 weekly puts. Next week puts would work too. We had a big downside day already yesterday, or this past trading day today. So I'm really going to be watching for a bounce into 280 and then gauging the price action. If we see buyers step in, there's no reason it can't rip back higher, right? However, I am saying the A+ setup for me would be a rejection liquidity sweep at 280.69 and then a fail to the downside. So that is going to be my primary focus, right? Is going to be that 280 level on Nvidia. I really think it's going to provide a clean trade opportunity going into tomorrow. To expand on what I was saying earlier about the Qs, right? That the best trades in this market, look at the QQQ daily, right? Fake breakdown last week, right? And we had all those really good big tech earnings reports. And look at the move we saw the next 2 days, right? Fake breakdown, you trap bears right here, and then you see a massive move to the upside, right? And I missed this squeeze day, right? But look at the continuation we saw, right? But here we are. Now we're back in the range, right? And that's kind of the case that I'm looking at on Nvidia. Is Nvidia really going to be strong enough to maintain itself over its breakout range while you're having every other mega cap tech name kind of come back into the range? I don't know. We'll see. How am I gathering whether something will reject, tape, volume? Okay, so this is a good question. Sauceboy asked this. How am I gathering whether something is going to reject or not? Personally, I am a huge fan of the tape, right? It depends how long you guys have been trading, but the tape, in my opinion, is one of the most important things you can utilize to your advantage, right? Watching live orders come in, right? That is the auction that is driving the market, right? And so if you can watch buy and sell orders come in real time and, utilize the level 2 to your advantage as well, guys. Level 2 is a huge thing, right? That's giving you an insight look into the auction that is going on, that is driving the bid and ask. I think that is really, really important, right, to incorporate into trading. Personally, if you are not at that stage yet, right, I really think that you're better off looking at price action, whether it be the 5 or 15 minute. Personally, tomorrow, right, what I'm going to look at, I'm going to observe the tape on Nvidia during the first 15 minutes, right? I am going to watch that auction take place and watch them cycle those shares through. If I'm seeing very large sell orders, like, so a perspective situation, okay, say we come into 280 tomorrow, right? And I'm seeing very large sell orders come in right at this 280.69 zone, right? And I'm seeing really large sellers pop up on the level 2. That's going to be a key takeaway for me and confirmation point that's going to lead me to take Nvidia short, right? That is something that I'm going to need to see in order for it to be an A+ setup, right? Is I'm going to need to see those sellers come in at that 280.69 level. I'm going to want to see those larger scale asks on the level 2 as we come into the key level. The tape matters at those very key hourly pivots, right? Those hourly 15-minute pivots. The tape is very, very important when you approach those key areas, right, where we really see the auction start to matter. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully that answers your question. Without the tape, how would I approach option? So like I just said, if you don't want to utilize the tape, guys, the main thing that I would do, and the one thing that really changed my trading from a technical perspective, was devoting time to reading the level 2, right? The level 2 is so important, guys, to observe that bid ask take place in real time. Sorry, that's my dog. It's actually his birthday today. He's sneezing in the background. But it's so important, guys. So utilize the level 2. And then something that we want to see is, personally, in terms of just price, right? If we're just looking at candles themselves, notable wicks are very, very key for me, right? If we look at KRE, right, the entire thesis beyond that hourly breakdown today was the fact that we saw those long notable wicks. That told us that this was a key support, right? Just like we're seeing on the hourly chart now on KRE, we're seeing very notable wicks up to 39.12. So if you, just for your imagination, swap KRE with Nvidia, pretend that this is your 280 level, right? If we start to see some very notable wicks up to 39.12, and in this case on Nvidia 280.60, that's going to be kind of my short signal, right? If we're seeing those large sell prints come in at the key level. Happy birthday, doggo. Zach, I appreciate you saying happy birthday. You're the only one that did that. I appreciate that a ton, man. Thank you. That means a ton to me. My dog is my best friend, so. Dumb questions in the chat? No, there's no dumb questions, guys. I was, I had literally zero clue what this meant a year and a half, 2 years ago. So, well, actually, you know what? I don't even know what I'm saying. Really like 3-4 years ago now. But like I'm saying, 3 years ago, I would have been the one asking the dumb questions, right? Quote unquote dumb questions. They're not dumb, right? I had no idea what this meant when I started, right? That was a gut reaction saying 2 years ago. I kind of forget sometimes it's been 4 years now that I've kind of been seriously trading. So, really, like I said, guys, it took me 2 really full years to even get to the point I'm at now in terms of reading the tape and looking at those notable wicks. If SPY breaks 380, will you short the long period? Maybe, but I'm personally not big on swinging either direction right now, right? Kind of have the same setup going into the Qs tomorrow, right? A really notable wicks up to that 320 level. This is going to be the spot that I'm primarily watching on the Qs. A lot of people are asking me, am I bullish or bearish right now? Personally, my outlook on the market is that I think there are more A-plus short setups than long setups, right? I don't like to come in here and be like, I have a really strong bias this way or that way, because I think that personally as a day trader is very counterintuitive, right? Personally, I think that the market's path of least resistance is to the downside right now on a lot of these charts. One thing that kind of scares me a little bit in terms, not scares, but I'm going to take advantage of the move either way. But what kind of sits in my mind, right, is all these charts were so technically bullish, right? Monthly breakouts, weekly breakouts, everybody's bulled up. The VIX is at 15. And then all of a sudden, you get this banking kind of crisis, right, develop. That creates some issues because you've got a lot of people buying into a lot of these names, a lot of these indices, and that creates some serious selling pressure, right? These types of moves to the downside, guys, they happen when people are least expecting them, right? And I think you saw a lot of bears capitulate over the past 2 weeks, right? And so if there was going to be a time for this move to occur, it would probably be, within a certain period of time here. Do you filter level 2 for a certain size? No. Do you trade? Do you only trade or do other business like stuff? So right now I trade. I have the YouTube. I have my Discord, obviously, and I'm going to be the next thing I want to get into is Airbnbs and real estate. So that's kind of my next foray. Bollinger Bands, absolutely not. I use very minimal indicators, guys. I'm a level-to-level trader. Very minimal indicators. Do you trade BTC? I do not actively trade crypto. However, I'm highly considering getting into trading crypto more because BTC has had such clean price action. So if I start trading crypto full-time, guys, just be on watch because that may very well happen once things get a little bit cleaner in terms of exchanges. What's going on, guys? If you're enjoying the stream, please don't forget to leave a like. It helps us out a ton. It allows us to keep doing these streams. I covered XPX a little bit earlier, bro. I'm not gonna throw out like I threw out a trade idea on Nvidia. SPX is a little bit more difficult. I personally like to trade SPY contracts over SPX. You know, like I said, it's hard on SPY, right? But I threw out a specific trade idea on Nvidia. I'm not going to do that on the indices, but personally, you know, for example, right, tomorrow I'd be watching the 318 puts on QQQ because that resides at a key hourly pivot. For the S&P, I would probably look at the 408 puts for tomorrow, guys, right? If we start to reject at that 411 zone, I would probably look at the 408 puts for Friday. If we continue to reject, right, we create a lot of selling pressure here. I'd look at the 408 puts for Friday, or maybe the 313 or 413 calls for Friday, right? So the 413C or the 408P would be kind of my two focus points. How do I feel? First time watching, appreciate all the knowledge. Chris, that means more than you know, my man. I really appreciate you saying that. What do we got? How do you feel about SPX with 10 minutes left in the day on an ODT contract? 0DT SPX last 10 minutes is gambling, educated gambling. If you treat it as such, you got to do you. I personally do not do it, but that's just me, right? I am truly, guys, right now a 1 or 2 trade a day type of guy. It's come in the morning, nail the first hour and a half, right? And then I'm really playing defense the rest of the day, right? Something's got to jump off the page so hard, be like such a tremendous A+ setup for me. And I bang the wall, like, not to be corny, but I actually do that during the day if I'm like debating taking a trade. And I'm like, is this really A+? I'll kind of like remind myself, you know, that's why I keep the sign right here, is because I like to remind myself that, like, ask yourself that question. Am I taking a trade to take a trade? Am I taking a trade because I'm bored, right? That's the whole premise of going outside, playing golf, like getting away from the desk a little bit more in this market. This was probably the first day today in a month and a half that I felt like I could have taken multiple trades and seen more maximization on the upside for my P&L, right? Can you please get the May promo? If you are interested in the May promo, all you have to do is DM me the word May, and I will send you the Discord link for $99, which is the discounted rate. Otherwise, it's sold out, but we're going to open up a few spots. So if you'd like that, you can just DM me on Twitter, and I'll send you the link as soon as I'm done with the stream. These lives are honestly so helpful. Thank you, mans. Jay, I really appreciate that, brother. That means more than you know to me, because that's why I do these. That's why I take the time out of the day. The A+ setup sign is wild. It's wild because it's facts and it's absolutely critical. You work for Goldman Sachs? Nice. So what do I think about Meta on the downside at the 236.51 level? I'm going to start doing some individual charts. So if you guys want to toss me some levels that you want me to review, I will talk about them. Okay. So we're talking about a post-earnings setup like Meta, right? Personally, I will tell you guys this. My last thing that I'm ever going to do is short relative strength until it's the end of the downside move, or what I think to be the end of the downside move. Personally, I'd rather short names that I feel like are truly overextended, right, or are starting to display relative weakness. For example, Nvidia is starting to show relative weakness. Meta is just a name that doesn't want to go down, and so I'm not going to force it, right? Why would I, make my life harder, right? That's the whole premise of this. Just if you're short, trade the relative weakness or trade the A+ setup in your mind. To me, I personally am just, if it's an A+ setup to you, take it. But I'm not going to force things on a name like Meta. If I were doing 3 stocks, career path, I don't know what that means. What do I think of Tesla? Tesla's actually been trading strong lately because it's already had a big downside move off of its earnings. Today's candle is ugly, though, right? That doesn't look great. Tesla has issues because their free cash flow was way below where it needed to be. So I was originally going to start shorting rips on Tesla. This is an interesting name, and I think this is good that whoever just brought this up, thank you. I'm not sure who just said Tesla, but this is an interesting name because this could be one of those where we didn't fill the gap, right? We bounced at 152. If this starts to break under 160 again, right, the key level for me is 158.65, right? Why is the key level for me on Tesla 158.65? 1, 2, 3, for 5 notable daily wicks down to the 158.65 key level. If we start to break this 158 level, guys, this is going to be a really clean downside trade in my opinion, right? So this is one, you know what you do here? You just hit that plus button and set a price alert, right? Have Webull or whatever brokerage you're using notify you when that level snaps, and you know the A+ setup's there, at least on the downside. I'm not big on patterns like rising wedges. Chop Bones, you are awesome. I will learn a lot from you. Keep it up. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Any advice on how to avoid FinTwit scammers? Watch their live content. Watch their, YouTube. Watch, get a feel for, what they do. Look at their testimonials. That's the biggest thing I could give you. What else are we looking at? Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch a decent chunk of these. A lot of people asking for coin. This one I'm not going to trade, guys, because it has earnings this week. So options-wise, I haven't been trading coin much. It just hasn't been trading well. This is a good example, though, of large, notable hourly wicks, right? This doesn't look great, right? Selling pressure, selling pressure, selling pressure, selling pressure, selling pressure. Look at that, guys. They made sure each one of those hourly candles closed below that key level at 51.30, right? There's a lot of selling pressure up there near 52 on coin. So I would be watching that as a potential area to, of resistance tomorrow, right? Which could present a nice downside trade. Any other YouTubers that I have learned from? Nathan Michaud is really good. His YouTube is Investors Live, and he is a fantastic trader. So I mainly use support and resistance and level 2. So like I said, guys, I'm primarily a level-to-level trader. I like using liquidity sweeps on the 15-minute. And again, I really like, creating those hourly pivots. I'm a level-to-level trader. I utilize the tape and the level 2, very, very heavily inside my trading. And they really have kind of propelled me to, the place I'm at now, right? So all right, so one other chart I am going to cover is Microsoft. A lot of people were asking for this one, and I want to talk about it. This is definitely a name that's a little extended in my mind, guys. We've had this massive earnings gap up, right? We've got clearly a major level here at 303. I think this one presents an interesting fade once the market starts to really roll over, if that happens, or this is going to present a really nice bounce candidate and then a move to 315, right? That's the key level above here, 309.18, obviously the key level. Microsoft is going to be a name that I want to be looking to long, not short, right? Because of that, we've got really strong catalysts with ChatGPT. We've got really strong catalysts with the fact that they destroyed earnings, right? Microsoft is kind of killing it across the board. I'd much rather trade Microsoft long than short. Another great example of that would be Meta. Level 2 is our level 2 order book. So, yeah, guys, that's going to be, really, I think, my primary focus going into tomorrow. So you like to use sweeps that an Uber driver was talking to you about it. You said, yikes, I'm not a weird stalker. I just thought you didn't like him. Okay, so I think that liquidity sweep and break of structure has kind of gotten a little bit overplayed. Honestly, I'm a little bit angry because liquidity sweeps kind of got taken into this like mainstream strategy and they've been failing a lot more. I've been on liquidity sweeps for a while and I personally love trading them. Liquidity sweeps, in my mind, are fantastic. I think that so many people are kind of using them now. It's getting a little bit played out. And, like I said, I think that you're starting to see those break of structure setups fail a lot more. I said BOS, right? I said that the liquidity sweep and break of structure is big. Personally, I also think about, a lot of these, I guess, like ICT is primarily kind of like a 1 minute or 3 minute style, right? Like, I guess you could theoretically, a lot of the traders that I see are using 1 minute on ICT, right? Because they're primarily scalping futures. I personally think liquidity sweeps are more effective on higher time frames like the 15-minute and the 5, right? And even the hourly is a big one as well. What time frames? Does that make sense? I'm not hating on liquidity sweeps. I love liquidity sweeps, right? I think that liquidity sweeps and breakup structures kind of got played out a little bit. I think that they are not as effective on like the 1 minute, but that's just my personal opinion, right? Like you could have a totally different opinion and a strategy that works for you. So use it, right? What time frames do I primarily use? I covered this already, but if I'm like building my watch list for the day, I'm going to use the daily, right? And then I'm going to go to the hourly. Okay. And then intraday, I primarily use the 5 minute off of the open, the first, 30 minutes. And then, like I said, I like to use the 15 minute as a confirmation point really now in this market. Back when I would trade more towards the middle of the day or the end of the day, I personally liked using the 15 minute a lot more. I do like using the 15 minute sometimes as, like I said, if I'm already in a trade and I'm looking to kind of hold runners, right, and pushing down towards my other take profits, the 15 minute can be really useful, to kind of stay in those trades once you are kind of already, in profit, right? How do I find a bottom when the market falls like today? It's a really difficult question, but all right, guys, I'm going to kind of wrap it up here a little bit. It is just a little bit past 10 p.m. I still do have to get to bed, but I really thank everyone that tuned into the stream tonight, guys. It really means a lot to me when you guys tune into these things. I host these for you guys and for the educational factor that it provides. All I ask is that if you enjoyed the stream tonight, please do throw a like onto the stream. That helps me out a ton, guys. And again, it helps out the YouTube channel as a whole. So if you really enjoyed the stream tonight, do throw us a like. I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. We really covered a lot of names that I think will be beneficial and definitely provide some A-plus setups into the day tomorrow. Last parting thoughts, guys, is that going into tomorrow, there's a lot of pressure to kind of make your day, week, month, year on these FOMC days. But what's really important to remember, guys, is that oftentimes the best setups come the day or two after FOMC, right? After Powell, we've got Apple earnings on Thursday. So don't force it, right? Do that little wall tap if you need to. A-plus setups are what's important and really focusing on finding the best opportunities. What time do I start in the Discord? I get on live at 9:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to do a stream like this. And then I start live trading at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time in the Discord, and then we go until 11 a.m. So you guys can catch me in there. M. Davis, appreciate that. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You're the man as well. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you guys all tuning in. Thank you once again. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream per usual, and I'm going to try to do a few more of these. So thank you guys again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you stayed around to the end, thank you again, guys. Hope you guys have a fantastic evening. Trade smart, trade safe, and we'll see you guys later. Peace. See you guys in the AM.